Hi, this is Tom Matson, and I'm going to talk about the two inherent requirements that you need for setting up Teleprompter PRO online. Now, first, you need a domain to install Teleprompter PRO on. If you already have one, as most of you, then that requirement is out of the way. For those who need to acquire a domain name, there are usually some really great deals where you can register a domain name and get a special rate. FYI, there's several different options where you can register for under $10. However, and really there's no reason to ever pay more than that. But most of the time, or a lot of the time, GoDaddy will have 99-cent domain registration deals, and then there are others too that will offer $1 or reduced registration. And so I would just check for that free or $1 or 99-cent domain registration. Google that, and you probably can find a few links for that purpose. Now, two, you will need a web host to host the domain you want to install Teleprompter PRO on. Now, once again, if you already have a web host, this will probably be adequate to get you up and running. If you do not have a web hosting account already, then there are many low-cost options. There are even some free web hosting options that are available to you. In fact, this video is coming to you, this is being recorded from a free web host that we have tested to check to make sure it works, and it seems to work just fine for setting this up, installing it on. And we're going to provide the link for that below this video and in the documents, in your help documents inside version 2.5 as well too. We're going to provide you with probably about 3 different links, and that should hopefully help you get to one, or at least get set up with a web hosting account that is for free, or you can choose an option where you can pay a little bit if you'd like to. Also, just because, I want to point this out too, just because a company has a great deal on domain registration does not, and I say not, and I emphasize that, mean that they have a good or a great deal on web hosting. In many cases, they do not, and they will try to nickel and dime you for every little thing. You don't have to pay an exorbitant amount for hosting. There are just too many options that are out there that provide you with plenty of great resources, including cPanel and no ads and what have you. And you can get those for free or for $1 or $2 a month. There's no need to pay $10, $15, $20 or even $7 or $8 a month, really. So, and GoDaddy is, in my opinion, is one of those great for registration. I just would not recommend them necessarily for hosting. We could set these up on GoDaddy just fine. We've done that, but there's some better options out there, I think, for you. During the first couple of weeks, too, after we launched Teleprompter PRO, it came to our attention that there are some web hosting companies which, even though they have cPanel access and a file manager, they have some very non-conventional setup processes which make it considerably more difficult to be able to perform simple file manager functions. In our opinion, iPage is a classic example of a web hosting service which you would probably want to avoid if you are technically challenged in any way. If you already have an account with them, fine. However, if you want to avoid the extra trouble of setting up through their non-conventional methods, then take advantage of one of the free hosting options that we'll provide you links to that are much easier to use than going through iPage. Now, if you use iPage for your web hosting, you're probably going to need a little extra special hand-holding and assistance from our email support to offset the kind of weird and unconventional file manager setup that they use. Now, no problem. Let us know if you're dealing with an iPage installation, and we should be able to help you get up and running shortly. We're also going to provide you with some links that you can also look at yourself when you're setting up Teleprompter PRO on an iPage web hosting account, as far as being able to upload, you're going to be uploading to the root folder in iPage as opposed to public HTML, which in most cPanel accounts you're going to be uploading to public HTML or a folder inside of public HTML. That is not the case with iPage. Also, the way they have you upload and extract, the way you have to extract zip files in iPage is also very unconventional. We'll provide you a link to help show you how that is done as well. And if you need to move folders on iPage hosting, there's also some other odd methods that they have implemented. So we can provide you with a link to show you that as well too. And then the other thing is, especially for hosting accounts that may seem to be a little unconventional, one of the things you want to make sure is that your file folder permissions are set at 755 and your other files are at 644. So by default, I think most web hosting companies will have that 755 for folders, 644 for other files like images and your PHP files and your JavaScript files and so on and so forth. But if not, if you happen to see that they are set to something else, then those need to be changed as well. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this short because I just wanted to talk about that part. We'll probably do a separate video that just actually shows you an install, probably with one of the free hosting companies, and that way you can see just how easy it is to do on a free web hosting company. So we're going to cut this short and we will pick up in the next tutorial.